The danger of the past was that men became slaves. The danger of the future is that men may become robots. Erich Fromm, The Sane Society. Have you noticed it? People don't feel the same anymore. The way they look at you, the way they carry themselves, the way their spirit shines or doesn't shine. It's like a great shift has passed through humanity. And if you felt it deep in your soul, let me tell you something. You're not imagining it. You're not alone. In this video, we're going to explore why people feel so different, emotionally, spiritually, and biologically. We'll examine what psychology has long warned us about: the collective shadow, the collapse of meaning, the alienation of the soul. We'll look at what science is uncovering: the fragile link between body, brain, and spirit, and how food, chemicals, and stress reshape not just health, but personality. And we'll open the door to what mystics and spiritual teachers have been saying for centuries: that these signs point to a deeper transformation of consciousness itself. Some see collapse, others see awakening. Either way, something profound is happening in the human story. But here's the real question. Is humanity truly falling into darkness, disconnection, and despair? Or is this turbulence a sign of birth? Consciousness itself pressing forward into something new. The psychological lens. Carl Jung, one of the most influential psychologists of the 20th century, taught that the world we see is not objective. It is a mirror of our own psyche. When the unconscious is ignored, it doesn't disappear. It spills into our lives as projection, distortion, and conflict. When you notice people acting irrational, aggressive, or strangely disconnected, Jung would say you're witnessing the shadow, the hidden parts of the psyche we deny, breaking through. He wrote, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." That means much of the strangeness you sense in people isn't random. It is the eruption of denied pain, fear, and anger that has been buried too long. And when the collective unconscious stirs, it doesn't just surface in individuals, it rises across societies. We see it in polarization, in anger without roots, in mistrust that corrodes families and communities. It feels as though humanity has lost its center. Erich Fromm, the humanist philosopher, took this even further. In The Sane Society, he argued that modern culture itself is sick. Instead of nurturing the human soul, it manufactures alienation as a way of life. Fromm said modern people are trained to be consumers rather than creators, competitors rather than companions. He warned that in such a society, many escape from freedom, trading individuality for conformity, because freedom without meaning is unbearable. Look around today. So many people seem numb, mechanical, or trapped in roles they don't even believe in. They scroll endlessly, laugh without joy, and fill silence with noise. They are, as Fromm feared, playing out the script society hands them rather than living from the soul. And Viktor Frankl, psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, added another layer. In his classic Man's Search for Meaning, he explained that survival itself depends on purpose. Those who found meaning, even in the darkness of concentration camps, could endure. Those without meaning collapsed. Frankl wrote, "Life is never made unbearable by circumstances, but only by lack of meaning and purpose. If you feel that people are more restless, impatient, or even hostile today, it may be exactly what Frankl described: a crisis of meaning. When people no longer know why they live, Their behavior becomes strange, erratic, even dangerous. But psychology only explains part of the picture. Let's go deeper. The biological lens. Modern science is uncovering truths that mystics whispered long ago. The body and soul are not separate. The gut-brain axis, one of the most studied systems in neuroscience, shows that billions of bacteria in the intestines produce neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine. These chemicals regulate not just digestion, but mood, clarity, even compassion. When that ecosystem is disrupted by processed foods, pesticides, alcohol, and antibiotics, people don't just get sick. They lose emotional balance. They become quicker to anger, slower to forgive, less capable of joy. One study showed that gut imbalance can trigger depression and anxiety, even when life circumstances are stable. Another showed that violence and impulsivity rise when serotonin production collapses. Imagine entire populations walking around with damaged gut flora, unbalanced brains, and inflamed nervous systems, angrier, more impulsive, less patient, less kind. Suddenly, the strangeness you feel in people becomes more than spiritual intuition. It becomes biological fact. Paracelsus, the Renaissance mystic physician, foresaw this centuries ago. The body and spirit are one. Poison one, you poison both. Look at today's epidemics of chronic illness, autoimmune disorders, mood disorders. These are not just medical problems. They are signals of a poisoned inner ecosystem, mirrored outward in personality and society. And when the body burns with inflammation, patience shrinks. When neurotransmitters fall, clarity fades. When the gut is hollow, compassion itself becomes harder to access. That strange, unsettling change you notice in people may not just be cultural, it may be biochemical. But biology, like psychology, still only sketches part of the map. The deepest currents can't be measured by science. They belong to the realm of the spirit. The spiritual lens. Step closer. This is where the deepest mysteries begin to unfold. Eckhart Tolle teaches that most of humanity lives in unconsciousness, lost in the endless chatter of the mind, ruled by what he calls the pain body. The pain body is the accumulation of unhealed wounds, stored not just in individuals, but in the collective. When awareness begins to rise, the ego resists. It fights for its survival. It grows louder, angrier, more divided. This may explain why the world feels more chaotic, not because darkness is winning, but because light is pressing in, forcing shadows into view. The Sufi poet Rumi wrote, "Don't get lost in your pain. Know that one day your pain will become your cure." Perhaps the very strangeness, the heaviness, the alienation you sense in others is not just collapse. It is the medicine of awakening. Pain is the pressure that cracks the shell so the soul can emerge. Christian mystic Meister Eckhart echoed this when he said, "To be full of things is to be empty of God. To be empty of things is to be full of God." What looks like collapse in people, the loss of joy, the loss of normal, may actually be the emptying of illusions, making space for the real. The Buddha said, "All conditioned things are illusions." If society seems more unreal, more divided, it may be because the illusion is unraveling before your eyes. And the Upanishads whisper, "You are that." The eternal consciousness beyond body, beyond thought, the unchanging witness of the storm. Taken together, the mystics remind us, when you feel you don't belong anymore, when the world feels foreign, it is often not decline. It is the first tremor of awakening. Are we witnessing humanity's downfall or its rebirth? The truth is, it may be both. Jung shows us the shadow rising. Fromm shows us the sickness of culture. Frankl shows us the cost of lost meaning. Science shows us the body unraveling. And the mystics show us the soul being reborn through fire. Everything is connected. Our body, our mind, our spirit, our food, our culture, our focus, our faith. Consciousness itself is shifting, and the world you see is reflecting that shift back to you. And if you look closer, you'll find the real question staring back at you. If the world feels darker, is it because humanity is truly collapsing? Or is it because the light in you has grown brighter, and now the shadows are easier to see? If this is striking a chord in you, type yes in the comments. I'm curious, how many of us are feeling this same shift echoing through our souls right now? You're not imagining it. People have changed, but so have you. And maybe that's the point. Frankl said, "Everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances." Jesus said, "Be in the world, but not of the world." The Buddha said, "Awake, be the witness of your thoughts," Rumi said. Try to accept the changing seasons of your heart, even if you've never seen spring. Across traditions and across time, the message is the same. The world looks different because you are different. Your awareness is sharper. Your compassion is deeper. Your light is brighter. And while some are pulled downward into fear, others are being drawn upward into love. That's why it feels like two worlds. Because it is. One fading away. One being born. If this message stirred something in you, tap the thumbs up. That one simple click doesn't just show love. It helps unlock this message for countless others who are searching for the same truth. And if you want to keep walking this path with me, consider subscribing. Because this journey isn't meant to be walked alone.